that. How the devil are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
You sound surprised.
Well, do you know what? It's been like, what is it? The last con I did was Thought Bubble 2019.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of like, getting back into it, almost forgetting how it is, forgetting how exhausting it is, they're constantly engaging with people.
Sure.
People come to your table, you want to give them a good time. You want to be a good memory for them.
Well, heaven knows, I can imagine the table has been... Okay, first things first. Yeah, Thought Bubble 2022, Sunday morning, Christian Ward.
Here I am.
Excellent stuff. And it's great to finally meet you as well.
Thank you,
We've been conversing on the social medias.
Yes.
The last chance we'll get to talk to people on the social medias before it all crashes into the sea. Absolutely. But you've had a hell of a year. I mean, certainly with the books you've been putting out, the work that's been going through, and everyone's been really excited to see you. I mean, what's been the book that people have been coming to you about? Because, I mean, Andromeda is a phenomenal book. Just the work that you've been putting out is amazing. What's been the one that's kind of gone, hello, Christian, I want to talk to you about this.
Well, it's really weird. I mean, obviously, I've had a lot of AQUAMAN come to the table today, and having it signed, which is fantastic. But what's really surprised me is how many people have come with Bloodstained Teeth, which is the book that I've written.
I'm just going to say that's your baby.
That's my baby, and it's my baby that I didn't draw. So to be recognised as a writer, separate from myself as an artist, it's this weird splitting of personalities. That's phenomenal, and it's like real, kind of soul food, and real, I'm on the right path. Cool. I kind of stepped out into the breach, and it's okay. And people are happy to have me there.
Well, I mean, Bloodstained Teeth, it's pure attitude. I think that's what everyone's really kind of latched onto that. I mean, we've had vampire stories before. We've had contemporary vampire stories. Fine. This has got some. Okay, don't hit me. It's got some bite. Punch. Yeah, I'll take it. But no, the way it's gone, and the way the run's gone. Where are you with that book so far, and where are we going?
Issue 6 came out, I believe, the start of start of November. And we're going to issue 10. Issue 10 was the whole plan. Okay. So we're going to end on issue 10, but my view is I would love to do what Ed and Sean do on Criminal, and that we will return to that world, and because I've set up a whole ecosystem of kind of how that world works, and all the different kind of fractions, and how all the kind of lore works. I'd love to come back and just tell stories within it with different characters. Basically, it's a crime vampire.
So you've got plenty of places to go with it, which is always good. Good. Like you say, it's your first time back at Thought Bubble after so while, but it's not your first con.
No.
What's it been like to get back into con mode past lockdown? I mean,
before Thought Bubble, I did a brief dalliance with New York Comic Con, so I was there briefly. It was a real kind of rock star event. I flew in, 2 days, flew out. I mean, I couldn't have done it any quicker, but that was, I did a book with Oscar Isaac, and
indeed,
he was very gracious.
Wasn't he just? I think I've seen the clip, and
he invited me on.
So let's talk about that. About that book. I mean, how did that even come about?
He pursued me.
Really?
He pursued me. He's Legendary reached out to me, and they said, would I like to do a book with Oscar Isaac? And I love Oscar Isaac. Who doesn't? And but I said no.
Okay.
Not once, but twice.
That's the kind of thing that gives you a reputation, sir.
Yeah. I mean, and it wasn't because I didn't want to. I love the guy, but it was just. I got to the point where I really wanted to focus on me.
You also had a lot on your plate, right?
Yeah, and it was about I want to do something. I want to start writing. So I'm gonna focus on that. And they said to me, "Will you just talk to Oscar?" And so we had a Zoom, and this was right at the start of lockdown, so scary times if we all remember.
But he's a charismatic chap, and I can imagine he can charm the pants off most.
Yeah, my pants were gone by the end of the thing. He taught me into it. No, he didn't. He convinced me that it. Well, I tell you what it was. A lot of kind of Hollywood people or any kind of celebrities. There's this thing that they want to do comic books. They don't really understand it. They just want a property or whatever.
Sure.
And I was nervous. Maybe that's what this was. And within 5 minutes of talking to him, I went, that isn't what this is. It was a genuine love of the form. It was and in fact, the funny thing was, I said to him, is this character, do you want this character to look like you? And he was like, no. And then the original...
It's the only thing about Berserker which kind of puts me a little bit on edge, because it looks like Keanu.
It's Keanu.
It's Keanu. Keanu 10 years ago who's been through the gym.
Exactly.
But this isn't.
It's not. And he was, in fact, I was sending him early pages, and he was constantly like, it looks too much like me. I don't want it to be me. And I don't know whether you know the story of how the book existed, but it's a friend of his who got very sick. He got terminal cancer and kind of had this very vivid dream of having a head wound that nobody could see. An obvious metaphor for the cancer. Sure. And miraculously survived, got better. He's now cancer-free. 6 years later, doing very well. Cool. And but this idea stayed with John. His name is, or Bob. Oh God, it's very early. It stayed with him and us, because they've stayed friends. They were school friends. They've stayed friends, and Oscar was just like, let's turn it into something. And all the way through this journey, Oscar's been very much like, this isn't my thing, I'm just facilitating. This is his thing.
Nice.
I was just like, what a lovely...
You don't get more personal than that.
No. And what a lovely story. And it was, and the whole book's about empathy, and like, we need a lot of that at the moment. So it was great. It was, and while we were, let's be honest, very scared at home for like 12 months, I was having weekly Zoom calls with Oscar Isaac, like 2 hours at a time. And it helped to like have that distraction, and honestly helped it not to be quite such a scary time.
Nice.
So it's nice. So I look at that book now, and my second daughter was born halfway through it. It's become quite a special book.
I can imagine.
Even though it's not my book, I don't own it. It's a very nice thing, and to be invited to be on Oscar's panel and to celebrate that in front of 6,000
and then him
people.
having very nice and abusive things to say.
Very gracious. I mean, I've worked with people in comics who haven't been as gracious as him, and so it's been lovely.
Cool. Busy year.
Yeah.
2023 then. Are we onward and upwards? Where are we going? Trust me, that is not the first time that's been said. Yeah. But projects in mind.
I can tell you.
Have you got a busy year,
yes.
or are you taking a break? What's
I have. I can kind of be vague. I'll be vague. So I'm working on 2 things at the moment.
Okay.
I am writing and drawing.
Oh, okay.
Both of them.
Whoa. Okay.
Yes. I'm also in the first stages of writing and drawing something else with an artist who's here today. So look at the guest list and like,
Okay. If anyone knows the Thought Bubble guest list, the guest list is insanely long. That does not help at all. Thanks. Thanks for that. Everybody's here. Thanks. That does not narrow it down. Okay, but excellent. It's good to hear. Yeah. And I think if we just want to wrap it up just for a second, if you want to talk about what Thought Bubble means to you as a UK show, probably the last bastion of a proper UK event celebrating comics. Yeah. If you could just talk about what it's like to be back and what it means to you.
Everything. It means everything. I mean, like, it's, as a comic book creator, writer, whatever, you spend a lot of time very singular, working away. And this event is so important because it is literally a temple to the love of comics, and we all come. And I mean, it's very telling that at the parties and everything, it's not creators and fans. Yeah, it's everybody, and it's a real we all
got absolutely hammered together.
Yeah, and it's just wow. And I did a lot of shouting and dancing, hence the hoarse voice. But I was a good boy.
You're holding it together, man. You're doing all right.
So yeah, it's just it's not overselling to say I think Thought Bubble is wonderful. Like, I want to be here every year.
Sorry, I've just been interrupted by G. Willow Wilson, for God's sake. What you? I'll tell you what, I'm going to let these two, the meeting of minds. There we go, excellent stuff. If we're going to get gate crashed by anybody,
might as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Might as well.
I mean, as a show, and not only that, but you do have fans. So tell you what, in a sentence, it's everything.
It's everything.
It's
just soul food for the comic book soul.
Back next year, fingers crossed.
If they'll have me.
If they'll have you. Fantastic. Christian Ward, have yourself the rest of a great
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.